Hi Taurus, I hope that you're all doing well. What I'm seeing right now in the pre-shuffle, it looks to me like you may be heading in the direction of something that you see as being a better opportunity. When I say opportunity, I mean specifically an opportunity where you can showcase something that you want to showcase, maybe in a way that you weren't able to before. This can also be like a skill set that you want to be working on, or it can be a relationship that you feel like would better suit you for where you are. It can be choosing something, choosing a path that you feel more attracted to at the end of the day. We're starting off with Death card, which I feel is appropriate for this. Starting off with Death card. And I'm seeing the Sun, so I say at this point you can be well aware this has been coming. I'm seeing the Chariot, so all of the things that pop up that make transitions difficult, you're going to figure it out. So it can be the change in routine, the having to figure out the new steps, to get your bearings, to know where to go and what's happening and how fast to move or how slow, or when do I need rest or when do I need to pick it up. All of those things that are connected with going through a big change in your life and you being in the process of figuring this out so this move can be made. And it even feels like a bunch of little moves that are being made as well. And the whole time feels too like going through this process of knowing what to retire, what to hang up, and what to keep around. So there can be a lot of recognizing what has, coming to realizations connected with what has expired versus what is meant to continue. What you're taking with you, what you're not taking with you. The part of you that feels somewhat fixed at times can be having a little bit of difficulty with this. You can be feeling more rigid emotionally. You're going through a big change. The way you can see yourself reacting to this at times is that you can become more rigid emotionally, which means that things may get to you faster. You may like really crave routine right now, or like some type of emotional stability. You can be feeling less emotionally adventurous. You can feel maybe more easily triggered, maybe a little bit more unstable, maybe in a little bit of a mood, in ways that you're not normally like. It feels like it's specifically with the Death card, it can be somewhat stressful. It feels like this is coming out somehow emotionally for you in a way where you're realizing, well, this is definitely having an impact on me. And I can recognize that by the way that I'm feeling. So maybe feeling a little bit more inflexible because of this, because you have to be so flexible with whatever this change is. Feels too like moving forward. I get that this Three of Swords is connected with the Eight of Cups, which can mean that you know that you have to move forward with things, and at the same time it can still hurt to be doing this, or it can still be a lot to wrap your head around. And so even though that's where you are with things, this is how you're feeling. Feels like still needing to carry on and move forward and take steps that count towards something. I get the sense too that every step forward you take, the more you are going to, like, the less intense this is going to feel. But you can feel like it's hard. Like, I'm seeing you move forward. So, like, your feet are pointing forward, but as far as where your energetic focus is on, there can still be some past stuff that you're looking at here. So even though technically you're making steps moving forward, as far as like where your mind is and whatnot, it can be focused back a little bit, which is fine. Maybe you feel like you can't help it either. It's like your mind just drifts there. Okay. With Four of Swords and Seven of Swords, you can be spending time sleeping to avoid something. This means too that you, on the opposite end of things, maybe you're avoiding resting or avoiding recovering, but I feel like this is also something that's going to be changing too. Like maybe you've been doing something that you're actually not going to be doing anymore because it's not going to stand up to the changes that you're making. Because this could have been places where maybe you weren't acting on something, or maybe like something that was asking to be created through you, or moves that you wanted to make that they weren't being acted on. Let's clarify. I feel overall, like on a personal level, as this is connected with your energy, that this Seven of Swords is the part of you that may want to get out of having to make certain changes that must be implemented. And you would know within yourself that you need to do this, but there can be a part of you that really is trying to like get away without having to do this. And it comes from the part of you that doesn't want to change, even though you know that's the best thing for you to be doing in this situation, and it's needed. So I'm seeing your shadow come out as like wanting, it can even be saying like, I don't want to be in this same situation, or even changes happening regardless, but there's this part of me that wants to just keep doing the same thing. So with the Seven of Swords, this is the part of us that comes out that is kind of like self-defeated and like, might as well not try because I'm not going to be able to do it anyway, or it's going to be too hard, or is this even going to work? And we sort of like talk ourselves into this shrinking mentality rather than a growth mindset. But what I'm getting is that Seven of Swords is going to run into the Death card, which means that it's like the Death card is going to be a big wave that will crash onto Seven of Swords. So all those ways that you have been twisted up doing things that are not the best for you, Death is coming through and is going to obliterate that. And there can be a part of you that's still holding on to it. The change is coming through and it's going to wipe that out so it can't happen. So I even feel like this is something that's going on where you may not have a choice. It may be something that feels like a little bit more forced given this situation. Like maybe it's something that you weren't fully paying attention to. Prioritizing the steps forward. I keep seeing Chariot. Chariot is connected with Cancer. It's also connected with your moves being successful. It can be hard to find your balance, or it can be hard to focus on what's important right now because you can have a lot of things going on in your head and you can be feeling kind of stressed out as well. So because of having that going on, it can feel like a little much. You can feel kind of overwhelmed. It feels too like because there's a chapter that's closing out, you can still be dealing with the remnants of this as well. So it can be hard to focus presently because of it. I feel too like your shadow is popping up when you're not paying attention, and some of you are having some weird dreams as well. Strange. Okay. The question, is it me being willful? Is it me having willpower? Or is it me being stubborn and rigid? And it feels like having to figure that out. Okay, I'm seeing Four of Pentacles and I'm seeing Justice. When we have this, this is like I'm not negotiating. I'm not bending here. Four of Pentacles is I'm not letting go. I'm not going to budge. And with Justice, this can be like, this is what I believe is right. This is how I believe things should be. Death card, Seven of Swords, Four of Pentacles, Justice, Three of Swords, Ten of Cups. I'd say that this can be a time where you're like wanting to obliterate anything that you feel is not moving in a correct motion. Like death is going this way, which is moving forward. So death is coming through and it feels like across all the land, anywhere where there may be something going on, whether this be your energy, whether it's energy around you, whatever is carrying the energy of the Seven of Swords with it, that frequency, which is a shadow energy. When I say shadow, I mean something that is an ignorant energy. This is something that it's not a fully conscious energy. Death is coming through and it's wiping that out. And it feels even like with Four of Pentacles and Justice, it's non-negotiable. So this means like if this is not, it just feels like it's being plunged into the light with the Seven of Swords. So even though it's an energy that I even feel this thing where it's like, this Seven of Swords felt like, and this can be a frequency, okay? I'm not even saying that it's a specific person. This can just be a frequency in general. With Seven of Swords, this is stuff that's going on where Four of Swords next to it feels like energies that aren't aware, like energies that are sleeping, okay? While those energies are sleeping, I'm seeing Seven of Swords moving around. It's like you're playing chess, okay? And you go to the bathroom and when you come back, like you're not thinking this, but the Seven of Swords changed the chess pieces around and didn't say anything to set it up to put them in an advantage. What I'm seeing is that the Death card is coming through. So this means that that energy is going to come through and it is going to, this sentiment came through in one of the other readings that I was doing. Maybe Aquarius or Cancer, Aquarius, Leo. It was one of them, which we'll have posted on, I believe, the 4th of February. It's not even February when I'm recording this yet, but this reading should be out on February 5th. The readings there's one of the readings that I did on, that will air on February 4th, that I'm seeing something similar. There's something about an energy here, but in that reading it was the Devil, which feels like something going on. And then I'm seeing like there being a more powerful energy that comes and just like puts that flame out. And so with the Four of Swords, this feels like energies that may be ignorant possibly to what's going on just because they're not supposed to be paying attention. It's supposed to be resting and relaxing. And so it feels like, you know, like taking a break, going to the bathroom, whatever. And Seven of Swords is moving those chess pieces around. But what I'm seeing is that something is coming through and it's like this very unwavering energy and it's coming through to correct this. So Death card is coming through and saying, oh, we can't do that anymore. Like you didn't realize we put cameras up there and saw you make those moves there. And so this is all being exposed now. That's what I'm seeing. And I'm seeing that this energy of justice, it is now unwavering. So there's no more like getting away with things anymore. That's what's happening within the energy. And this is so we can like heal. This is a very healing energy that's coming about, but it has to come through and it has to expose everything first is what I'm seeing. So even though it can feel like, like all of this pain is being brought up, like you're halfway to the 10 of Cups this way. And so it's helping. I'm seeing somebody holding a drumstick here. So there's a recovery that's happening. And I even feel like for some of the energies with Four of Swords, it feels like the universe, like cosmically, there are things at play here where it doesn't even feel like one needs to go about enforcing this. This is just happening all on its own, like cosmically now. This stuff is being eradicated. So all of the stuff that was in the dark with the Seven of Swords, all this shadow energy, anything that was not being brought to light, anything that was not being exposed, death is coming through and slowly but surely all of this stuff is being exposed now. Because it's time for that. And I'm seeing the energy be unwavering, like this is the way. So it feels like there's no slipping out of the hands of justice here. And even though initially it can seem like an energy that dashes some dreams, at the same time, this has to be healed in order for us to reach the Ten of Cups. And so both micro and macro levels, this is something that's happening. This feels like a very collective tower, which means that on an individual level, we're experiencing towers. On a collective level, there are towers as well that we are experiencing. This is bringing about a deeper and greater peace of mind. And it feels even like it's allowing a relationship to develop that had been stuck before. And this is a relationship between elements. I'm seeing King of Cups and I'm seeing Queen of Wands here. They're like in a gridlock before. Now it feels like coming to some sort of agreement. And it feels like this even reinstates this feeling of a deep sense of connection that is suspended in the balance between moves that are being made, steps that are being taken, like physically, and the feeling connected with it. So it's like what one is feeling in the heart, the moves being reflective of that, and things being built in that way. And then the byproduct being the Ten of Cups. So even though this can feel like a time when the Death card can be an energy that comes through and feels very severe, the way that it moves through, especially having Tower on the bottom of the deck, like things can be very, very chaotic. This is what evolving looks like. And it's all leading, start with Death card, end with Ten of Cups, all leading to the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is that peace and joy and harmony and things being back to the way that they're supposed to be. Like they were in the beginning. A long, long, long time ago. So this is reestablishing. And it's gonna look new because I'm hearing it's a new legacy. This means too that it's going to allow us to build a future that's connected with the pursuit of happiness and what that looks like to each and every one of us. Let me see what else we have. I'm seeing Libra, I'm seeing Scorpio, I'm seeing Cancer. We have Mars as well. I'm hearing defeating the narrative. As much as this can feel like all of this stuff that's being dug up with Three of Swords and Six of Cups, it's like all of this painful stuff that has to be revisited. I feel like it's not even correct to call it a revisiting because it hasn't been visited like this before. And it's just exposing. Seven of Swords is like the stuff that was already happening. It just hadn't been exposed. Three of Swords feels like it being exposed so those cycles can come to an end. 7 plus 3 is going to be 10. That will be the end of the cycle. So it allows all those painful cycles actually to close out, even though it can feel like, why is all of this stuff being brought up? But it can feel like these things are coming about, but they've been happening the whole time. It just wasn't exposed before. And that's actually what's happening here within the energy. So even though it can feel painful, it's like this pain has been being felt. It just wasn't, we didn't totally understand before where this all was coming from. This feels too like, I'm hearing alma mater, looking at the Chariot. This feels too like something very Cancerian to me, which Cancer also represents like collectively the people of the land. And so there can be something within like a homeland here that this is connected with. where some type of Seven of Swords energy is being eradicated now. It also too reminds me of the notion of like seeing everything that's been swept under the rug and being like, wow, look at all that dirt that's under there. But it didn't just, it's not like it just appeared there. It's been there the whole time. We just pulled the veil back to see. There can also be some energies that I'm hearing rugged with the Four of Pentacles. There can be some energies that may get the feeling of being stuck in old ways with Four of Pentacles, Six of Cups. Like maybe there's not total openness to changes that are happening, but it feels like they're happening regardless. But this can be a bit of a blow to the ego, it seems. Queen of Wands, Three of Swords. Because with Queen of Wands too, especially that shadow fire energy, there is like pride and avarice within that. And having King of Cups come about here now, there's going to be this integrative, psychologically, emotionally, spiritually in-tuned, connected energy that is also going to connect with the fire. So instead of it being like in the shadow fire energy or in the shadow water energy, which had been like in a gridlock before, that there's a relationship now that's being developed that wasn't developed before. And this can be something too that you're seeing. If you embrace one of the archetypes of these energies, you can have somebody coming through playing the other part. And there's something here that's going to happen where you could have felt like there was a gridlock and it was stuck, where now there's going to be development of partnerships and collaborating that wasn't happening before because of being like, well, these are my values, these are my values. It feels like something's happening where these energies are able to work together again in a way where they haven't been. I'm seeing like a machine that got all rusted, and then it's like being oiled by the changes that are happening, by this evolution, and it allows for the revolution to start back up and to continue. All right. With that being said, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.